What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Grow, Live, Dream. I am your boy, LaVar Robinson, and this is my brother T. Hutton, the motivator. And today we're going to be talking about wolves, man. Hopefully you guys are ready. What's up, T. Hutton? How you doing, brother?
Oh, no much, man. Doing good, doing good. Excited about the topic as always. You know what I'm saying? The howling alpha. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited about it. It's going to be a good show. We're talking about wolves today. We're talking about the wolf pack. You hear us talking about your pack so much. Who are the people around you? What does that pack look like? What is it made of? This is going to be a good show for those who want to share it with their team building. I really feel like this is going to be something impactful, something to learn for your leaders in your group, something to learn for the generals in the group. It's going to be a good show today. So, you ready? I'm ready.
Man, I'm super ready. They got me over here ready to howl. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, look, let's go ahead and do a little house rules. Listen, make sure that you guys are commenting with us. Make sure that you guys are sharing, loving, liking, all the above, guys. This is Grow, Live, Dream, and we're here to inspire, motivate the masses to grow, live, dream. That's why we're here. We need your help. All right. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Shoot, T. Hutton.
So starting out, man, when we think about a wolf pack itself, if you're an alpha, where you're a Zeta, beta, no matter what you are in the wolf pack, it is part of a pack, a group that works cooperatively. They work together, cooperates together to make sure they ensure the safety and the productivity of the group itself.
Mm-hmm.
When we think about corporate America, we always talking about what's the culture look like over there. You go in to interview for a new job. One of the things I always ask is like, what's the culture like here? Is there a lot of water cooler talk? Is everybody looking to promote up, or is this just one of these jobs where you come in and everybody's stagnant?
Mm-hmm.
When we talk about in your personal life, what does your pack look like? What does your group look like? These are different things that we have to take in consideration. And when we look at these wolf packs have an actual structure to help ensure the safety and the productivity of the group itself.
I mean, that's real. That's real. And I'm glad that we're going into this because a lot of us don't necessarily have the right type of pack around us, right? One of the things we know about the wolf is that they're very family oriented, right? My belief is building, like you said, that culture is building a culture of the people that are around you, people that are hungry, people that are going to protect each other, people that are going to hold each other accountable, right? When we start talking about a pack, I want you guys to start looking around you and saying, what does my pack look like? Is my pack like disoriented? Is my pack organized? Is my pack, the type of pack that is just going to win? They can't help it. Or, do I even have a pack? Like, what's the scenario?
Or are you the lone wolf?
Are you the lone wolf?
When you start to look at packs, it's interesting because most people don't realize they're not part of just one pack.
Facts.
And you may play a different role in different packs. In one pack, you may be the alpha. In another pack, you may be the Zeta. You never really know what your role is until you truly look into yourself and you identify what's your role within that organization, within that group of friends, within that, or that pack of people that you run with.
That's right. Oh, I love that you said that. I'm gonna give it back to you in a second. I love the fact that you just said that because when you start looking at your growth, right, you have to make sure. One of the sayings that I used to hear, or you hear all the time, like if you're the smartest person in the pack, if you're the smartest person in your group, like that's a problem, right? Yeah. So the way you say that, it speaks volume as to say, hey, look. Even when you're the alpha in your pack, you have to continuously be reaching up, right? So that means that you need other people that you can learn from. You need other people that you can follow, but they got to be the right people.
Oh, yeah. Definitely got to be the right people. You don't want to be a whale in the swimming pool. You might be the biggest fish in your pond, but if you... it don't benefit you to be a whale in the swimming pool. Boy, you ever seen a big kid in one of those little small kids, little plastic swim pools?
No,
like, bro, you too big to be in that pool. Get out of that pool. You know what I'm saying?
Let me take you over to the public pool.
Yeah, let's take you over to the city pool, man. Like, you can't be out there in that pool, man. You can't even get your knees wet. Even if you laid down, if you sat down in that pool, you couldn't even get your top of your knees cap wet. So you definitely need to get out that pool. And that's how it is for some people in their life. They're sitting in these small areas, they're in these pools, and they're, like you said, they feel good because they're the biggest thing in the water. They're the biggest thing in the pack. They are the alpha of this pack. But you're an alpha of a pack that ain't going nowhere. That's not a good look. Like we heard me say, run with the wolves. Notice the run part of that. Like, let me just backtrack and talk about the run part of that.
Let's talk
because
about
when you hear running, you know, they made a movie, Running with Wolves. You remember that movie? They made a movie titled Run with Wolves. And the thing is, the wolves are running. The wolves are headed a direction. The pack is on the move. If you're in a pack and your pack is sitting still, if your pack is just, we just gonna wait it out. We're gonna wait out the winter. We're not gonna eat this winter. We're gonna wait it out. And guess what? Some of y'all gonna starve to death. And after a while, the pack gonna turn on each other. I don't know if you ever been in a group of people where everybody's not willing to move at the same time, and then they start turning on each other. You start hearing bickering and complaining.
Oh yeah,
because the group is complaining because, hey, we're not moving. We're stagnant, and all of us are getting hungrier.
And the interesting thing about that is that we're meant to move. We're meant to stay moving, right? We're not meant to be stagnant. What's going on, Valika? How are you doing, ma'am? And anybody else that's watching, make sure that you tune in. Where you tuning in from? Put that in the chat. But you know, we're meant to stay moving, right? And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are following people that are not moving, or they're just not following anyone at all and just not moving at all. And then they're wondering why they're not happy. They're wondering why they're not feeling fulfilled. Right? That's super important. We got to make sure that we understand that, right? If you're not moving and the group that you're around is not moving, see, sometimes you just need a group that's moving to kick you into gear. You keep the right people that are around, watching them long enough gonna make you move. When you keep the right people around, watching them long enough gonna make you move because you're gonna feel like you need to. What up, Gerard? What's happening with you, sir?
You know what? When I hear you say that, it's like, to me, I'm thinking about a group, and like you imagine this: you're with a group of people, and everybody is moving but you. And because you're part of the group, they're dragging you. You still moving. See, they're dragging you until you're able to get your balance, get your feet underneath you, and run with the pack. But you still not getting left behind. So there's a thing. You don't want to be in a group that's going nowhere. Whether you're being dragged because the group is moving faster than you can till you get your momentum up and get your feet underneath you, you still want to be in a group that's going somewhere. Where is your pack headed? Is your pack headed the right direction? Ask yourself that. Where is my pack headed? Like, I
want to be in their face and say, you got to be careful with that too. You got to be careful because after a while of them pulling you, you know, I bet you'll jump off the ship fast and they'll push you off. You'll jump off the ship fast and they'll push you off. Why do I know this? Because that's what happens with people, right? They start getting down on themselves. They start feeling like people looking at them a certain way, when truth of the matter is that's something that's happening in the mirror. That's something that's happening in the dark, right? I used to say this one thing. It's like, it's crazy when people start having all this drama in their head and then they start acting on the drama. The drama that's in your head. Don't nobody know what's going on. They're like, what's up with this cat? Right? That's because you see these people going out here and getting it. Right. And after a while, you're like, well, they think they better than me. What they think they this? Nah. They got somewhere to go. They got somewhere to be. And that's what all of us have to do. We have to make sure that if we're in a pack that's moving, we got to do our part and make sure that we're not the one that they're dragging.
So when I was doing the research, and we were talking about wolves here, of course, when I was doing the research, and you start to realize that wolves are not in a pack just because, you know, hey, it's got friends, just hang out from time to time. They're in a pack because the pack allows them to do things they couldn't do by themselves. See, the wolves function in a pack because it allows them to bring down bigger prey. See, they might not bring you down by themselves. They might not be able to conquer that thing by themselves, but as a group, in a group that works a certain way, that's the best thing about it. It's like they're not just a group that's trying to tackle something, but they actually have jobs, assignments.
Talk about it.
Like you hear me say Zeta earlier. The Zeta is the general in the group, in the pack. They call it, says one Zeta per pack. You got two alphas. You get, you know what I'm saying? In a wolf pack, you have a woman alpha and a male alpha. You have a female alpha and a male alpha. Then you have one Zeta. There's only one of them. There's only one general in and the general is making sure everybody else is doing their job. They're getting their orders directly from the alpha. Picture it like this, LeVar. You have a visionary, right? He creates this business. He has this business idea. But then he goes out and he gets a team of leaders. And the leaders make sure the employees do what they need to make sure everybody wins across the board. That's
so my question is,
going on.
do you guys have a Zeta? Do you have a Zeta in your pack? Are you the Zeta of your pack? Right? Are you the visionary in the pack? Because that's what I'm hearing. What I'm hearing is that Zeta is that visionary.
No, what I'm saying is,
go ahead.
I would say what I was saying is your alpha is going to be your visionary.
Okay,
your Zeta is going to be the person that pull the trigger. He's the trigger man.
Got it.
He's going to make sure it happens. Like you tell me, hey, this is the vision. We want this, this, and this. Then I go out there and I make it happen for you. Like, hey, look, LeVar said this is what it's supposed to look like. This is how we make it happen.
Got it. 110%.
And then you come back and say, you know what? Everybody did their job. We all winning together.
We all winning together. You know, it's interesting when you start looking at different facts about different animals. You know, and when I was looking at the wolf, I thought something was really interesting. And they say that the bite capacity of a wolf is 398 pounds per square inch in their mouth, and it's enough to be able to bite through to the bone of a moose. And what I started thinking about was how small the wolf is. It's a nice size, but in relative to a moose, you wouldn't think that it was that strong. And then I started thinking about us. I started thinking about how there's people that look at us and they deal with us not realizing how strong we are. Right. And a majority of us are not even using the strength that we have. Right. But most people, they're like, well, you know, I'm not going to put that much on him or her because, you know, I don't want to put too much on them. When truth of the matter is we're so much stronger than people even realize. Right. We're so much stronger than what we realize. Right. So we got to realize our strength. And we got to make sure that we realize our strength and make sure that we utilize that strength at its capacity, not utilize such a small piece of how strong we are. If people understand this, they'll be able to get so much more done. That'd be people like, oh man, I can't sleep. I mean, if I don't got 8 hours of sleep, like you don't need 8 hours of sleep. What are you talking about? You can operate just fine off of 5 hours. Like listen, understand, you can put in that work. Right? You got people like, oh, I can only do one thing. I can't chew gum and walk at the same time. You can definitely chew gum and walk at the same time. All right? You're going to have to practice to get better at it. I promise you, but you can do it. What's up, Yesenia? Go ahead, Tia.
You know, when I think about what you're saying about the power that you have inside of you, the fact that these wolves are not very big. Let's be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they say some wolves are smaller than, you know, your average dog, like a golden retriever. So they're not like massive. It's not like it's a dire wolf from, like, you know what I'm saying, Game of Thrones.
Right.
It's not this big, massive, you know what I'm saying, wolf. Like you talking about the average wolf is not that big, but think about it when you look at it from the point of like that power within him. See, you might not see yourself. You might look in the mirror and you see yourself as something small, something minute. But there's a power that rests on the inside of you if you tap into it. LeVar said use all of it. I'll challenge you to say if you could just tap into 50% of it, you would amaze yourself. The other 50% will come so much quicker because you'll be so amazed. Then you'll be like, well, dang, let me see how much I really can do. Picture this, LeVar. You go to the gym and you start lifting weights right you on the bench. Very first time you get in, you ain't been to the gym in a while. You say, man, you know what? Just put a plate on each side. Let me see if I still can get it. And you go in there and you hit it a couple times. Oh, that wasn't bad at all. And in your head, you says, well, dang. Let me see if I can do some more.
Let me see if I can do
and some then more. The next thing you know, you done maxed out with 225, 250, 305. Because what happens is as you start to build that, it starts to grow. That desire grows. And you start to realize there's so much more to you than you once thought was there. There was a strength on the inside of you that you didn't even know you had. But it was there the whole time. I got a poem I wrote a while back that says it's been there the whole time. That person that you've been looking for, when you look in the mirror and you don't see him, that person been there the whole time. You might have to do a little bit more digging and find them, but that person's there.
So here's the thing. Here's something that's interesting. And this is what happens. I need everybody to understand what I'm getting ready to say. The reason why a majority of people are unable to really utilize that power to their capacity is because they never even tried, right? Most people outthink themselves to an extent that they just become weak individuals, right? They outthink themselves because in their mind, they can't handle it. I can't even count how many times I've talked to people and they say, I can't do this or I can't do that, right? What T. Hutton just said was, you actually had to try. You actually had to lift. And you're like, wait a minute, hold on. I think I can live more than that. But you had to try first. If you got something in your life right now and you're pondering on it, you got to try. You got to jump out there. You got to do it. You don't know how powerful you are until you start moving in that direction of knowing. And that's action. Action is everything, right? Without you putting into action, you'll never know. Remember one thing, and then we're going to jump right into this thing, back into this thing. Remember this. Everybody has vision. Absolutely everybody. Different visions are bigger than others. But everyone has vision. So the fact that you have vision, it don't make you different. But you put that action behind that vision, that changes the game. That's a whole nother story in itself right there. So if you understand that you need to put action behind your vision, go ahead and put 1 in the chat, and we're going to have to move forward. See, listen.
Before you go forward, LaVar, I just want to touch on one thing.
Go ahead.
Because you said something, my spirit leaped, and I was like, "Ooh, I don't think they understood what he said." Let me give some clarification.
Talk to
him. You said everybody has vision. Now, here's the thing. That little person that sits on that left shoulder that tends to say rude stuff said, what if they blind? And then it said, in the other side, it said, you know what? Blind people have vision also.
That's right.
Don't think that because you're blind, you might actually literally be blind and you still have vision. Sight and vision are not the same thing.
Not at all.
I'm gonna say it again for you. Sight and vision are not the same thing.
Same thing.
Everybody has vision. Whether you use your vision or not may be different. There's some people walking around with no sight that has way more vision than people with 20/20, than with 20/10 sight.
Woo! Woo!
So you got to think about that. When LaVar said that, I just want to make sure everybody understood that you don't have to have sight to have vision. You can be blind and still have vision. Some of them, hey, look, you have people that couldn't even hear that could play some of the most beautiful music in history. It doesn't really matter. That's the thing, because vision doesn't require some of those other senses.
Mm-hmm.
That comes from on the inside of you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get back in. I just want to make sure we reel that in.
Listen, they don't even understand right now what was just said, y'all. What was just said is so deep. See, understand, all right? They say one of the main causes of wolves are starvation. One of the main causes of wolves are starvation. And you know what that made me think? A lot of us are starving because we're not going after our dreams. A lot of us are starving because we're not living a life of purpose. A lot of us are in a particular place. We don't feel right. We don't understand what's going on. You're starving yourself. Instead of saying, you know what? I don't care if I have to move an inch in the direction of where I want to go, or where my heart is telling me I got to go. I don't care if I move an inch, because that inch will empower you to move a foot. And that foot will empower you to move a yard, if y'all understanding what I'm saying. So what I'm trying to say is this: stop starving yourself. A lot of us are starving ourselves of our dreams, of our ambition. A lot of us are starving ourselves of where we're trying to go. We are starving ourselves, and we got to stop doing that. All right. Did you want me to go ahead and put that up?
Yeah. I want to pick up on that, because like when you're saying, that one of the biggest reasons that wolves are dying is starvation. Imagine that There's something killing you, and it's because of starvation. Some of us are dying from starvation because we haven't moved. Some of us are dying because our habitat won't support us. Watch this, LeVar. If your habitat don't support you, guess what you need to do?
Change your habitat.
Move.
Move.
It's still the same thing. Whether you're moving to go get what's in your habitat or whether you're moving to change your habitat, you got to move.
Yeah.
Because you might be starving, but you can actually get to a better place by moving. Some of us are sitting still. We're sitting stagnant. I like to look at it like this. If you're sitting down in it, then you're not trying to change your situation. I'd rather you be crawling to get out of it if you can't run. Walking if you can't jog, but moving. Because what happens is if you decide to sit still and starve, then you can't blame nobody but you. What's the accountability look like? Well, here's the thing. While you're blaming you, I'll give you an out. Let's blame a little bit of your pack. Because if you're starving, you're not only starving yourself, you're starving the pack also. Because the pack needs something from you. And if you die from starvation, guess what the pack does? It loses one of its vital members.
Oh, I got something. I listen. You know how you just said you heard something, your spirit jump. I just heard something, and I felt like people need to. And I feel like people need to hear this. They need to hear what I just thought, and this is huge. If you're starving and you're in the wrong pack, a pack which culture is about starving, and they ain't going out and getting where they need to go, you adding to that pack. Do you want to be a part of a pack where everybody's starving? Everybody's starving? Look around at your pack. Is everybody not winning? Is everybody complaining about every time something bad happens is woe is me? Do you start talking to people in your pack and start complaining to them and they start complaining back? They ain't never got no solution. They ain't never got no good advice. You better pay attention to that pack, because just like you're adding to, just like you're hurting that pack, when you're in a good pack, you don't want to do the opposite and add to a horrible pack. And I promise you, when you make a decision in your mind that you're gonna continue moving, what's gonna happen is that organically you're just gonna walk away from that pack. You're gonna walk away from that pack that ain't bought nothing. That pack that ain't going out there and doing nothing. That pack that ain't pushing for higher lengths in life. That particular pack right there, you're gonna walk away from organically. It ain't even gonna be on purpose. You're just gonna walk away from it.
Yeah. And that's reality. Let's be honest. We all have, I got this concept that I talk about when I'm doing life coaching. It's about 5 rings, basically. And we all have like 5 areas of our life, 5 different areas that we have different packs. And each pack serves a different purpose. And generally we say 5 areas, and it's kind of like we call it the Olympic ring theory. And literally you have different areas of your life and you have different people to serve. You may have people that may bridge those areas. They may be some overlap in those different areas of your life where you're like, this is friend, this is business partner, but this actually might be friend and business partner. But there are some different areas in your life that if you don't pay attention to the culture of that pack, you'll find yourself becoming part of that culture. And if that culture ain't where you want to be at, where you want to be going, if that culture is stagnant, that ain't the right place for you. We want to see you grow, live, and dream. And it's important to do each one of those over and over and over. But if you get into a stagnant pack where ain't nobody growing, so it's just growth is stagnated, ain't nobody enjoying life, nobody's really living, and then everything was supposed to be a dream is a nightmare, that's a problem. Everything's supposed to go right and everything is going wrong. That's a problem. The sky can't always be falling. I like the pictures. You ever seen the cartoons, LeVar? You see the cartoon character and it's sunny out and everybody else is running around having a ball and there's one guy walking around with an umbrella and it's raining just over him. That's the thing. You don't want to be that guy in the pack where it's always raining over your head. Change it.
That's crazy when you say that, because I've had people in my life that it's so loud when you make a decision that that's not you no more. When you make a decision that it's time for you to be around the right types of people, when you start pouring that inspiration and motivation into yourself, start living a life built around affirming and making sure that you're reaching for all the positive things, all the things that are going to help you grow. When you start living that type of life, what happens is that that person that's walking around with that umbrella and it's only raining on them, they get loud. It's loud. Like it's loud, man. They stick out like a sore thumb. You can see a negative person, they from a mile away, and you be like, whoa. Like every time I talk to you, you talking about something negative. Every time. Like it's always something or somebody doing something to you every time.
Every time.
Every time. Like, wow. Like this is crazy. But this is why we have to pay attention. We have to pay attention to our inner energy. Our inner energy. And we have to be careful the people that we allow in our pack because we have to protect our energy with our life. We have to protect our energy with our life. We have to make sure that everything that we do, everything in life is built around where you're trying to go and making sure that if something comes along that goes against what you're attempting to do and it's the wrong direction, don't go down that way. Don't go down that way. Because some people come into your life to steal, kill, and destroy. And some of them, unfortunately, do it on accident. Because that's just who they are. You let the wrong person in your pack. Sometimes it's just a seed. Sometimes it's just a seed of doubt.
What they say, one bad apple spoils the bunch.
One bad apple spoils the bunch.
Hey, you know what? I remember hearing that when I was a kid, and then I got an adult, and I bought fruit. And that one fruit, you get one bad fruit in there, and I'm gonna tell you that bag go bad so fast. Like seriously, you can take that one bad fruit out, and you can still have those fruits for a while. It's like you hear it, but you never really see it. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, because like, be honest, a lot of that stuff is good wisdom, and we don't really pay attention to it, but it's really good wisdom. Mm-hmm. Hey, before we get off, let me throw this picture up real quick. It says the wisdom of wolves. Now, I did some research on this picture, and they say this picture, the logic they put behind this picture is incorrect. But it's amazing when you look at it. If you look at the very front of the picture, you'll see a red circle. That red circle is circled around the older wolves in the pack. The older ones, those that might have been injured, things like that. They're in the very front of the pack. They're setting the pace. They understand where they need to be going, and they're setting the pace. And because what happens is if you put those in the front, it keeps everybody else from leaving them behind. I'm going to jump to the very end, where that blue arrow is. They say that's the alpha in the pack. They say that's the alpha in the pack because he's further back than everybody else, so he can protect. He can bring up the rear. He can protect himself, but more importantly is he makes sure nobody gets left behind. You can take it down, LeVar. Now, my question for you is, are you the alpha in your group? And if you are the alpha in your group, are you making sure nobody gets left behind? Mm-hmm. You've already set the tone. You know what the pace is supposed to be. Everybody understands the vision that you've laid out. You've told everybody, hey, look, Grow, Live, Dream is a place where millionaires are born. So look, if you're going to be part of this pack, no, that's the game plan. And then if you're the alpha, you sit back and you make those game plans. You give people different assignments to make this come to pass. Mm-hmm. But the question is, are you going to leave someone behind? I'm not asking you, are anyone going to leave the pack, but are you going to leave someone behind? There's two different things. So you may leave the pack on your own cognition, but I'm not going to leave you behind if you're part of my pack. If you're an alpha, you can't leave your pack behind. You got to be willing to die and protect the pack. One thing they said about wolves is the wolves will die for the pack. They will lay it all on the line for the pack. Is that important? Is your pack that important to you?
So here's the thing. We have to understand the significance of the wolf. You know, we have to understand the significance of making sure that the people we have around us and the pack that we have, that we do not only make sure that that pack is right by you, but also making sure that you're right by the pack. Making sure that you are one of those individuals that are willing to hold your people accountable, to hold the people around you accountable, to make sure that everybody wins, to make sure everybody going to where they need to go, because you feed off of each other's energy. How bad do you want to build a winning culture in your life? How bad do you want to make sure you have the people around you winning as well? You never know who you're touching. You never know who you're touching. But understand this. If your energy is not right because your pack is not right, you can only reach so far. If you're looking back at those pictures and you look at those 3 wolves that were in the front, those 3 wolves knew where to go. What can you do if nobody in your pack knew where to go? What can you do if everybody in your pack is all over the place? How bad do you want to build something special? So I end just by saying this, and I'll let T. Hutton close us out. You got to understand that you got to do right by the pack, and the pack got to do right by you, period. We got to make sure that we understand the significance of the energy that we're bringing inside of us and going out there and just winning. Not only just winning because you got to win for yourself, but going out there and winning because you have other people that are depending on you to win. There might be people that they're not depending on your money or nothing like that. They're just depending on the inspiration. They're depending on the motivation. They're depending on you to win so that they can have a direction in their life. They can feel inspired to do the same, help others, and they can be motivated to grow, live, dream, y'all. That's really what it's all about at the end of the day. We're here to win. Make sure the people around you winning as well. Close us out, T. Hud.
For starters, I want to point out something. I grew up seeing pictures of wolves howling at moons. During my research, I learned that wolves don't even howl at moons. Sometimes the narrative being painted about you is completely wrong. The narrative being painted about your pack is completely wrong. But sometimes that narrative is true. It's up to you, the alphas, the zetas, the betas, the entire pack, to determine what that narrative is. You may all be small and you may feel like you're not that big, or you don't have that much power by yourself. But as the pack, like they said, one finger may not be able to do it, but a closed fist can knock you out. That pack is what it's about. You have to be willing to put it all on the line for your pack. You have to be willing to fight and die for what you believe in and the goals that y'all have. Whether that pack is your family, your friends, your company, whatever it is that you're all moving forward towards, you have a group of people that you're working with. I'll be honest with you and tell you this. Everybody in the group is not going to be an alpha. Everybody is not the apex predator, but you got to play your role and be the best at your role. Never think that role is not important. Just as important the principal is at the school, so is the janitor. Play your role and do it to the best of your ability. And it's then and only then can the pack succeed. It's then and only then can you live your best life, continue to grow day after day, and continue to dream amazing things. This is Grow, Live, Dream. We have thank you over and over for your time, because it's important to us. We know how important time is. We would like for you to like, love, and share. Go out. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel now. And we will be back with you on Thursday with another episode of Grow, Live, Dream. Have a great one.
Let's get it, y'all. Y'all have yourself a wonderful one now.